Hello everybody and welcome back to Danny B Needs a Minute. I am Danny B. I am your host of the show. We have a lot to discuss with what's happened in the world of NASCAR since we have finally gotten back to racing. We're going to start off with Darlington on Sunday. So on Sunday, we saw the first Cup Series race back, and this was quite a success. It was a very good return to reality. We all got to see, what was going on. We got to see our drivers back. They were wearing masks. No qualifying for this race. It was all done by way of random draw within where they stood in the owner's standings. And then for the next race, they would invert the field based on the way that they finished in the first one. I had the opportunity to do something pretty awesome for the first race back with Darlington. I got to take part in 100,000 cameras. I was approached by the producers and got to do some really cool stuff with that, and it should air before the Coke 600. I recommend that you check it out, and you might see a familiar face on there. Now, by way of random draw, Brad Keselowski would have the pole award for the race, but Alex Bowman, my favorite driver, cool, how about that? He would actually start in second, and that would be where he'd end up finishing in this race as well. He had a really good run, and I was really happy to see him competing and doing well, despite, having no chance to practice or even learn anything about his car, but he did put on a good show. However, no matter who it was, whether it was Jimmy Johnson up in the front, whether it was Brad Keselowski up in the front, or the race winner, Kevin Harvick, it just seemed like Bowman just could never seem to get back in that lead. He had the lead for a little bit. He did take it for a while and led for about 60 laps or so. Maybe shorter. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But he had a good run. However, though, Kevin Harvick would take the lead late in the race, and it would be no looking back from there. Kevin Harvick cruised on to get another win at Darlington, and happy day for Stewart-Haas Racing as they get their first win of 2020. And this would be a really big victory for Harvick himself because this was his 50th career NASCAR Cup Series victory. That's always cool to see. You love seeing things like that, and there's no more driver I can think of that's any less deserving than 50 wins in NASCAR than Kevin Harvick. The dude has been racing since 2001 under probably some of the worst circumstances any young driver has ever had to take on, and he took advantage of this career opportunity and he made it into a great career. And so congratulations on 50 career wins for Kevin Harvick. Now after this, we were supposed to see Xfinity Series racing on Tuesday night. However, rain would not let that happen, and this race would be moved over to Thursday. The race was scheduled to start at 12 o'clock on Thursday. However, once again, the rain would push this race back, and this race would not start at 12 o'clock like originally planned. It would start at 4:30 on Thursday evening. In fact, actually, as I am recording Danny B Needs a Minute, it is happening right now. There it is. They're going into turn 3 here on like the first lap. So how about that? You're probably going to see me have to go in and edit what ended up happening. However, we did have our Wednesday night Cup Series race, and this one, this got a lot of people talking. I don't know that I've seen a race this unpredictable, this exciting in quite a long time, especially at Darlington. Fun fact that I'm just going to go ahead and spoil the show who won this one. Denny Hamlin got another victory in his career, and there's something about Denny Hamlin victories. He just has a knack for winning races where you don't really remember who the winner was. You remember more stuff that happened during the race. Think back to the 2019 Bristol Night Race. Matt DiBenedetto led that one for a long time, and that's what people really remember that one for. 2012 Bristol Night Race. People remember more the Tony Stewart helmet throw. 2020 Daytona 500. Everyone's probably going to remember that more for the Ryan Newman crash. This is just something about Denny Hamlin victories that he's always going to be the winner, but maybe that's not why people remember that race. In this case, it's the same thing here. People are going to remember the bird seen around the world, as I'll call it. Chase Elliott got spun out, not on purpose, I'm sure, by Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott's fan base, they let the Busch family know they didn't like that, especially Kyle. And even Samantha. I found out that she'd actually been receiving some horrible direct messages on her Instagram, and that's highly uncalled for. And if anyone's watching this show who sent nasty things to Samantha Busch about Kyle Busch, don't do that. That is entirely uncalled for. But anyway, so he was coming off of turn 4, and Chase Elliott had a huge run on the race leader, Denny Hamlin. However, Kyle Busch was getting passed by Elliott. He thought he was cleared. He obviously wasn't. He wasn't cleared just yet. And he cuts it right to file back in line behind Chase Elliott. Wasn't ready. Chase Elliott gets spun out while pretty much on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. Had that not happened, he was likely going to be taking the lead away from Denny Hamlin. And with what ended up happening just a few minutes later, he may have won the race then. But he did not. He got crashed. And when he got out of that car and Kyle Busch came back around, well, he gave him one of those. And, yeah, that sent the Chase Elliott fan base wild, obviously not at the Speedway, but wild on Twitter. Twitter was a mess when all this happened. And of course this led to some drama, especially with the crew members for Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott kind of really wasn't nowhere to be found, but maybe it's for the best that he went and cooled off, because who knows what would have been said. However, Alan Gustafson and the entire Chase Elliott crew, they were really wanting to speak with Kyle Busch, and after the race they would. They went into a lengthy and heated discussion. In fact, Kyle Busch even dropped an F-bomb live on television, but, well, luckily, they caught it before it was dropped, but y'all knew what he said, so there wasn't anything hiding that by any means. However, that's the drama. Denny Hamlin got the victory by way of rain. It ended up happening right after this caution took place. And yeah, that was another victory for Denny Hamlin. And he scared people. I'm sure kids now have nightmares because of the mask that Denny Hamlin wore, for social distancing. So you got to wear a mask. Denny Hamlin has this mask that from here down is literally his face and a big creepy smile on it. And okay, let's just show the picture. There he is. I don't want to keep looking at it. Get out of here! But that was it for the finish of that one. Before this one, early contenders we thought might be doing good. I thought Alex Bowman may have had another chance to try to sneak a victory here at Darlington. He started off doing really good. He climbed all the way from 19th to 2nd place and really thought he was about to take the lead and may have been able to keep the lead for a while. But as the night went on, I know he was running the high line a lot during this time, and I think it ended up causing some damage to the car, which would explain why he eventually started to kind of fall back in the pack. And he actually ended up finishing 14th, I think, after, looking like he could at least get another top 2 early on in the race. But at the same time, their car was probably more set up for the daytime rather than the nighttime. Oh, and how can I forget about this? Jimmy Johnson, is in his last year. He is retiring this year after all. He's decided, there's no coming back next year. He is retiring. Well, in the Sunday race, he had a chance to win that race, I think. He was looking really good. However, they were fighting a loose car, and he was about to win stage 1 on Sunday, ended up crashing, and then in the Wednesday night race, just really was nowhere to be found. It's like whatever backup car they had for Darlington, it wasn't as strong as that first one. So, Jimmy, I hope that you can do good, and I hope that you can find a way to get a victory. I just thought it could have been on that Sunday back, but maybe another time. And let's see, is there anything else? Is there anything I'm not thinking about? Whoa, hold the phone. I'm sitting here recording this. Ryan Sieg is fast. He is on the back bumper of Noah Gragson on lap 14, looking to take the victory. Okay, for editing's sake, once this race is done, I'll have to go in and talk about who ended up winning this. So, this is a perfect transition. Xfinity Series race. Let's talk about it. It's happening on a Thursday. So, future Danny B, who's going to be editing this, he's going to come in from this way. Danny B, what happened? Take it away. Hey there, this is Danny B. I'm back with an update after the Xfinity Series race is over. What an amazing finish. If you missed that one, I'm so sorry that you did. Chase Briscoe pulled off an emotional victory, outstanding Kyle Busch in the last few laps. Kyle Busch was looking like he was going to dominate this one. He came back from the back after he was speeding on pit road at the end of stage 2. But Chase Briscoe had what it took. He outstood the challenge. It was like a classic Darlington finish. Shades of the Ricky Craven versus Kurt Busch, in my opinion. Chase Briscoe, congratulations on this one. I couldn't think of a better person for this to come to. Very emotional victory speech from him too. Congratulations. Chase Briscoe, he's one of those guys that you just can't help but pull for. And as I'm brought back in, thank you Danny B from the future for letting us know who won the Xfinity Series race. I'm sure it was a very exciting race, and thank you so much for all the people of NASCAR for getting this race in. Oh, this is a tough one to edit, I swear. But yeah, that'll conclude what all happened in the race. And I know one thing, in Danny B weather last week, I was way off. And I really don't want to try to predict the weather for Charlotte. And I'll pretty much tell you this. Danny B weather, we'll go ahead and knock it out of the way right now. Here it is. Welcome to the Southeast. Rain can happen at any time. It is hot. The clouds get going. There's all these lakes. It produces all the condensation. It goes up in the air. Storms could happen at any given time. That's the weather. Just expect a storm sometime. That's all I can say right now. Now, we covered the racing. We covered Danny B weather. There's been some news. Let's discuss what's happened. So, let's start off with this. Some news for you Truck Series fans, especially Natalie Decker fans. She has announced that she's added at least one more race to her Truck Series schedule this year by making a start at Charlotte with Nice Motorsports. So this coming week, Natalie Decker will be racing in the Truck Series. Let's get into some Coca-Cola iRacing Series news. We had a race at Charlotte this past week, and Colin Keister was actually able to successfully get his first career victory in this series. To get this victory, Colin Keister would have to hold off a lot of guys who have shown success so far this season, including Ryan Luza, who went on a 3-race winning streak, and Garrett Lowe, who has shown a lot of success in the past. And the top 5 would also include Graham A. Bolin and Keegan Leahy. As for the remainder of the top 10, it would include Corey Vincent, Brad Davies, Eric J. Smith, Justin Bolton, and Casey Kerwin rounding out the top 10. How can I not talk about this one before we start talking about Darlington? So before the races ever came to town, they had some scary situations. A man was arrested on terroristic charges for threatening to blow up the Darlington Raceway before the NASCAR races came to town. And he was saying that he had 250 tons of lethal detonation devices. That is, whoa! How did that guy get that much? I don't think he actually did, but it's good they went ahead and made the arrest either way. The man's name was Michael Donovan Allen, age 46, of Darlington, South Carolina. Right now, his motive is unknown for this terroristic charge, but he still did it, and we don't need that to be happening now, do we? Nope, no sir, nope, get him out of here. The King of NASCAR, Richard Petty, has announced that he has personally signed with CSC Talent to lead and manage his marketing, and that includes setting up a social media strategy for the King of NASCAR. So, if you follow Richard Petty on all social medias, just know that you may see a change coming to social media platforms here soon, and this is particularly why. According to Bob Pockris, in a media conference call that they did with Ryan Newman over this past week, he announced more details of what happened to him in the hospital after his crash in Daytona. He said some of the details of his treatment actually include him being induced into a medically induced coma, and that would also include having to run a medical line into his chest. He said he had no other medical procedures done besides this, but that's still scary, just hearing more of the details coming out of what he had to go through. But we're just all happy to see him back at the races, that's for sure. Okay, I'm trying to do this show as professional as possible, but for this one, I got a lot to read here, so bear with me. We're going to read it together. NASCAR has unveiled the next few races to go along in the schedule after Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it's going to start here in my home state of Tennessee at Bristol Motor Speedway. Sadly, I can't go, but it's okay. I think I'll go fishing instead. But on Saturday, May 30th at 3:30 p.m., there will be an Xfinity Series race on Fox Sports 1. Sunday, May 31st, we will see the Cup Series in action at 3:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Then after that, we'll be heading to Atlanta Motor Speedway on June 6th. We will see the Gander Outdoors Truck Series competing on Saturday, June 6th at 1 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Then on Saturday, June 6th will be a doubleheader that day. 4:30 p.m. we'll see the Xfinity Series taking to the track on Fox. And then on Sunday, June 7th at 3 p.m., we will see the Cup Series in action. That race will also be aired on Fox. Then, another midweek race. Here we go. This will be a lot of fun. Martinsville, you get your night race after all, even though no fans are there. The Cup Series will be in action on June 10th at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And of course, for that one, I'm sure you can see the NASCAR Weekly Podcast as a pre-race show. Then we're going to go down to Homestead Miami Speedway. Of course, this is where the Pro Invitational Series all started. Now we get to go down here and race it in reality. Saturday, June 13th at 12:30 p.m. on FS1, we'll see the Gander Outdoors Truck Series taken to the track. Then on Saturday, June 13th, 3:30 p.m., we will see the Xfinity Series in action. That race will be aired on Fox. Then on Sunday, June 14th at 12 p.m., we'll have another Xfinity Series race going on Fox Sports 1. We will see the Cup Series taken to the track at Homestead Miami Speedway, and that race will be aired on Fox. Then by June 20th, we will get to see ARCA making its return finally at Talladega Super Speedway. They will have a ARCA race there at 2 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Then Saturday, June 20th at 5:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, the Xfinity Series will be taking place. Wait a minute, 5:30 p.m. at Talladega? That can happen? They don't have lights. Oh wait, this is the first time we've really got to see this late in the year a race happening at Talladega, so now it's not getting dark till 8:30, 9 o'clock, so yeah, we'll be fine for that one. And then on Sunday, June 21st at 3 p.m. on Fox, we'll see the Cup Series taking place at Talladega, so we've got a lot of racing to get done in the next few weeks, and this is the only way we're going to be able to get it done. Now, hopefully it's not like this week we got Mother Nature keeping us delayed. I mean, come on, how long did we have to wait? And now we got all these more delays. So hopefully the season gets back on track and we don't have many more Mother Nature worries after Charlotte, because it's probably still going to have a chance of rain those weeks. Sad news to report here for you people who are fans of Iowa Speedway. Jim Utter, I was actually able to find this through someone else. Jim Utter said that all NASCAR National Series races, including the Whelen Modified Series, will not be able to race at Iowa this year. So no racing will be taking place at Iowa Speedway this year. However, hopefully, with the way the 2021 schedule is going to look, maybe we'll make up for this by getting a Cup Series race at Iowa next year. We'll find out. Also, more news for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Series. They originally had a race planned this year at Martinsville Speedway. Unfortunately, though, that one has been canceled and it is not expected to return, at least this year. It actually does say that it has plans to reschedule for 2021. Now, of course, with that schedule I just showed you guys, this does mean, in fact, that Michigan International Speedway's race date of June 5th through the 7th, that, of course, will not be happening. So, yes, that race is also being rescheduled. Here's some paint scheme news. I got one to flash up here for you right now. Here it is. Chase Elliott, NASCAR's most popular driver, he will be competing in this beautiful Kelley Blue Book car. They've redesigned it once again. They're always doing a little bit of new things for it. And once again, good-looking car by the 9 team. Here we go. Big news. This man, Alex Bowman, he's back one more year. I still got my driver for one more year. He has signed a 1-year contract extension. He is running very good. Quite possibly the best driver at Hendrick Motorsports right now, actually. Has a win this season already. If he can keep things going, and maybe they can get that sponsorship issue he's had out of the way. Maybe they can get a full-length sponsor ready to come on board with the team. Maybe we can see Alex Bowman get more security. But he does have it for at least one more year. He has signed on with Hendrick Motorsport for 2021. And for me and other Alex Bowman fans, we can sigh of relief. Our driver is still safe. I thought this was kind of cool here from Adam Stern. He said that Fox Sports NFL/NASCAR director Artie Kemper said that this weekend Sunday race at Darlington was the first one back. He said that was the most important sports event of his entire career, topping Super Bowls and NCAA tournament championships. For someone to give that much praise about a NASCAR race in the media, I like that. We need more of this. Hey, this one's in my things here. We reached 12,000 subscribers. Thank you all very much. I really love and appreciate the support. I love everyone who keeps coming to watch my videos, and I hope that I'm providing some kind of entertainment, some kind of value to your week by just talking about my favorite sport, NASCAR. And, as a YouTube creator who discusses NASCAR, this is a very niche market. And I know there's a few of us you can get. Eric Estep, out of the group. Of course, DannyBTalks, it's the great value brand of it. Joke. I like my show very much. But then you got other guys like the Iceberg, Black Flags Matter. We got the NASCAR Weekly podcast. You got all the gamers like IDK Player, Cody H Gaming, etc., etc. Everyone who's a part of this community. We're all happy to produce this content. We love making these videos, and we hope that you enjoy watching it. So for me, now we're at 12,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. And I'd like to go ahead and say this. I want to do a giveaway when I reach 15,000 subscribers. When I reach 15,000 subscribers, we're going to do a fun giveaway. We got some Danny B merchandise now available. You can get that on Teespring. I'm going to give away something from that. And I'd like to give away a 1/24th scale diecast of your choice once we reach 15,000 subscribers. I guess we'll set up a page of some kind. There's all sorts of websites you can do it to produce giveaways. I'll figure out a way to do it. But when we reach 15,000, I want to do a giveaway. Danny B merch and a diecast. There you go. Fun as that. Exciting news about the ratings. 6.3 million people watched that first race back at Darlington on Sunday. That produced a rating of 3.7, meaning it was the highest watched sporting event that week, topping The Last Dance, which has been the documentary series about the Chicago Bulls on ESPN. It topped that. It topped WWE on Fox. It topped UFC. And there was something else. I can't remember what it was. But it topped everything. NASCAR was the most watched sport in America. I know it's the only live sport that was happening, but it's still amazing. We love to see it. Here's some fun news, and I'm really liking this because I was originally planning on trying to go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400 this year, and it looks like I might still have a chance. According to Adam Stern, IndyCar and IMS CEO Mark Miles has said that he is increasingly optimistic that the Brickyard 400 NASCAR doubleheader weekend will be held with fans in July, and by his understanding, he believes this could be the first race back allowed for fans to attend. Of course, this is not confirmed by any means, but it is looking optimistic that Indianapolis may have a chance of being the first race back of fans and you can bet I will be there. If I have to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask, but I want to be there. Oh, how could I pass this one up? I love my paint scheme news. It's already come and gone. Geico, for the first time in a long time that I've ever seen them, they have ran a special paint scheme, and they took advantage of a race happening on Wednesday because, of course, it is, as the camel says,
it's hump day.
That's right, hump day. Ty Dillon ran a special edition Geico Hump Day race car. That's awesome marketing right there. Slapshoes has produced a really good video in the past talking about how brands need to incorporate themselves better in NASCAR. Geico must have watched that because they did a great job with it. Cool news for you iRacing fanatics. They are finally adding the Ford F-150 NASCAR truck into the simulation, and that is awesome. It's been like one of those things like, okay, why do we have, we got the Ford Mustang and Cup, we got the Ford Mustang and Xfinity. Why is there no Ford truck? Now, there finally is. It's about time. For these next few races that will be coming up, we got Bristol, Atlanta, etc., etc. Just like this past weekend at Darlington, no practice, no qualifying. We're going to be doing things by random order, and honestly, that just helps get things going. Like when we get back to normal next year, yeah, let's get back to doing it how we were. But with this situation, yeah, let's keep doing this. Paint scheme news, you guys are going to like this. Hendrick Motorsports people have unveiled their paint schemes. We showed William Byron's paint scheme last week. Jimmy Johnson has unveiled his for the Coke 600, a good patriotic ally scheme, better than last year's in my opinion, and it's supposed to reveal an old bomber plane. I really like this. Got that deep forest green, a little bit of that steel plating on there. Really like this one. Good job by the folks at Hendrick Motorsports on this one. And Alex Bowman has unveiled his paint scheme as well. It'll have the NOCO Chevy Goods look, but it'll have a nice red, white, and blue paint scheme to it. Really nice design. I like what I'm seeing here. You guys are going to like it as well. More paint scheme news. Austin Hill will also be having a patriotic paint scheme at Charlotte. Here's a look at it right here. And here's some cool news for you. If you started like Garrett Smithley from the iRacing Pro Invitational Series, well, he's going to have a chance to run the Coke 600 racing for Rick Ware Racing number 53 car. So congratulations to Smithley on the chance to drive that car. And here's some paint scheme news I really like. Rackley Roofing and Clay Greenfield, they're going to be running in a Truck Series race this week at Charlotte with a special edition Tennessee Strong number 68. If I can get a custom diecast of this, I'd probably really like to get that. That is me being a Tennessee native, this is a really cool car because the reason they're doing this is because especially Middle Tennessee area where Clay is from, we have been hit hard by so much in conjunction. We had a horrible tornado that came through here in early March, and then immediately after that, we got hit by the pandemic and it shut down the entire economy. And for this just to be running on the track as a little reminder that, we are Tennessee strong, this is really cool to see, and I like this. Clay Greenfield, I hope you get a good run out of this car. Here's some sad news from our friends at the Racing Experts. They reported on Facebook this week that one of their good friends and longtime reporter for them, Stan Creekmore, sadly passed away this week. It's always tough to see those in the NASCAR media lose their life because these are people, even if they're smaller entities like the Racing Experts, they still provide knowledge to us fans. They let us know what's happening, and for us to lose another one, it's sad to see. But again, my condolences to his family and, of course, the folks at the Racing Experts. I didn't mean to get this sad all at once. Chase Briscoe, if you guys didn't see it on Instagram this week, he shared heartbreaking news. When he was at Darlington on Tuesday for the race that didn't happen, he wasn't able to be with his wife as she was scheduled to have her first ultrasound to see the baby that they were having, to find out the gender of the baby. Unfortunately, though, it was on that day that they found out that they had lost their baby. My condolences to the Briscoes. I hate to see that, and I don't know much more to say other than I can't believe that happened. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy to lose a child like that before they even got a chance to meet him. Again, my condolences to you, Mr. Briscoe, and your wife. So, let's get back into some better news. Ross Chastain, he's been racing anything he can get his hands on, it seems like, and this means that at Charlotte Motor Speedway, he'll be running in the Truck Series race as well. He's going to be back of his old team at Nice Motorsports. He's in the 42, not in the Cup Series like some originally thought he might be, though. He's driving the number 42 car. It's painted up like a watermelon, so good luck to Ross. Hope he does good in this car. Or truck. Why do I keep calling those cars? Now check this out. So Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch, they've obviously started a rivalry from their action in the Cup Series. Well, it looks like they're going to get a chance to reform this when we go to the Truck Series race at Charlotte, because he's announced that he will be competing in the Truck Series race for GMS Racing in the number 24 when we go to Charlotte. So I'm wondering here now, is that Kyle Busch bounty still on? Because if so, it's especially going to be strong for Chase Elliott, I'm sure. It's going to be good this week. Now, Kyle Busch has since apologized for those actions, but it's still going to be a topic for discussion. In a Truck Series race, when that much money is on the line, at least I think it's still on the line, it's going to be interesting. And also, on the note of that, from Bob Pockrass, NASCAR has said that they are not going to be fining Chase Elliott from those actions that he did after the incident with Kyle Busch. That is not going to affect him in any way. Okay, again, this is one of those things, I gotta look at my phone for this one. From Adam Stern, NASCAR has signed a deal with Equilottery Games to develop a unique new lottery game based around the results of real races to start as soon as 2021. It says you buy a ticket with 3 drivers on it, and depending on how they do during a race, you can win prizes up to $50,000. I'm not quite sure exactly how you're supposed to win $50,000, or what the exact rules are of this, but it has my attention, that's for sure. Richard Childress Racing has announced they have signed a new sponsorship deal with Darden Hospitality. Now, Darden Hospitality has brands such as Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, and also a few others that are under that. But those first 3, those are all very recognizable brands. I've eaten all of them, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. So I'm really happy to see that we've got, more people coming into the sport. This is really cool to see. And finally, some news from right here in Nashville. If you are wanting to see NASCAR eventually return to the fairgrounds of Nashville, it looks like we're getting even closer to that maybe eventually happening. The Metro Board of Fair Commissioners has approved a 1-year contract with Trek Enterprises to promote races, even though the future of races is still unknown for the rest of this year. This could all eventually be leading into more and more things to come from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and hopefully more renovations to the facility as well. Whew, okay, I'm tired. That's been a while now. Danny B needs a while, I guess, for this one. Thank you all for coming by to watch. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it looks like the lighting's a little bit better. We've actually made some upgrades to the studio in here. So, yeah. We've made some improvements to the show. Happy to be back. Happy to be back doing this live. It's always fun when you get to be here on camera rather than just being a voice and maybe a cartoon character from time to time. But thank you for watching. And after Charlotte, we got races to come on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I guess this is uploading on a Friday. So see you next Friday. It's going to be kind of harder to do this 2 times a week when you got to wait for the next race. And I'll let Eric Estep keep the daily NASCAR news. I like to do mine all in one. So yeah, thank you for watching. Danny B Needs a Minute. And if you haven't yet already, click like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. And we'll see you next week. Have a good day. Bye.